It stood tall for nearly 30 years. This morning it took less than 120 pounds of dynamite to bring it to the ground.
You're watching Channel 8's Eyewitness News at 5 with Gary Waddell and Paula Francis.
With that, the old gave way to the new. What was once the tallest structure in the state, the Landmark Hotel, fell to reveal what is now the tallest structure, the Stratosphere Tower. Among those who watched today, Nevada's Lieutenant Governor, Lonnie Hammergren.
It's part of the history. I think the Stratosphere Tower now is going to be the new icon. I guess the landmark is being replaced.
The demolition was shot today for part of an upcoming Warner Brothers movie from Batman director Tim Burton. It's tentatively called Mars Attacks. In fact, the actual implosion of the landmark was delayed this morning while Burton waited for the perfect sunrise behind the building. The company that brought this building down today was the same one that imploded the bomb-damaged Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. Today's implosion of the 356-foot-tall landmark set a new demolition height record for North America. And the head of the demolition crew said afterward, everything went as planned.
I'm pleased, but it's exactly what I predicted yesterday at the news conference and what we expected. The one thing that does surprise me is that the debris is really well broken, and that's a plus for the Convention Center and Visitors Bureau. It's going to mean the site will be cleared in plenty of time for ConExpo.
The landmark never was a real success. Its troubled past is now behind it. The irony is it may become more famous for the way it came down than for all the years that it stood.
Thousands of local people and tourists lined the streets to see the landmark go down, and when it did, the crowds couldn't believe what they saw.
It was really neat. They split it right in two and like a tree.
Some people watching said they're sad to see, literally, a Las Vegas landmark go. Metro estimates about 7,000 people watched the landmark implosion. When the tower came down, a huge cloud of dust followed. It blanketed streets for a block in each direction and left a big mess for cleanup crews. Anita Lightfoot takes a look at the cleanup efforts.
A surreal storm cloud of dirt and debris filled the sky and swallowed the streets. Short distance away, a dozen street cleaning trucks, engines humming, poised to spring into action.
We need to just get the street ready, prepared for the daily routine of traffic flowing through here.
So they swept, rinsed, and drained, while the gas company double-checked the gas lines. Within a half an hour, sweepers were making their final rounds. After a long night and an early morning, demolition crews decided to take the day off before sifting through some of the landmark rubble. Still, that didn't stop spectators from dropping by to take a look at what's left.
I heard it this morning when it went down, and I just had to see.
It's quite a scene.
Some gazed while others snapped pictures. All seemed to feel a sense of loss.
All you have to go by now is your memories of what it used to look like.
It was sad to see that, but gotta make way for progress, I guess. And that's the price we have to pay.
Work crews will start clearing the debris first thing tomorrow morning. Most of it will be recycled. Word is no one has been to the bottom of the underground staircase, but we'll keep you posted on what we find out about that.
Now that the tower is down, you may be wondering what's next for the landmark property. Well, a parking lot is next, and the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says it's desperately needed. This year, the LVCVA expects to break attendance records at conventions. Some conventions, like Convex, have already outgrown the existing facility. The landmark's 21 acres will be used for the first time this coming March. The majority of that space will be transformed into pavilions and open-air exhibits. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, we'll take a look at the DI Arterial project that will make getting into and out of that area of town much easier. Plus, we'll look at how some people believe that getting rid of all the old to make room for the new isn't such a good idea.
Could the Hacienda be the next Las Vegas landmark to be demolished? Well, according to officials at Circus Circus, that decision has not been made. Last week, one of Circus Circus's construction managers told us the hotel would be imploded in March to make way for new development in that area. But now Circus Circus officials we talked to today say they're only studying the idea and have not yet decided whether they'll destroy the Hacienda or renovate it. Circus Circus Enterprises owns the hotel and about 250 acres that surround it. They're currently developing a master plan for developing the area.
The landmark hotel that came down this morning was built in the 1960s, and right from the beginning it had a history of bad luck. But Las Vegas residents who watched it being built and eventually opened remember being proud of a hotel tower that towered over the rest.
I opened the landmark with my group, the Lori Perry Four. We worked at the top at the Sky Room.
She was known as Lori Perry then. Today, County Commissioner Lorraine Hunt remembers the day in 1969 when the landmark first opened.
We in Las Vegas thought that this was the niftiest thing we had ever seen because it was the highest building, 31 stories. We thought we were Manhattan. And you could go to the top and you could look around a 360-degree view of the Strip and the Las Vegas Valley.
But here was a building that was conceived in the early years of the space program, and it was sort of inspired by the Space Needle in Seattle and the Gemini program and the Mercury program.
The view didn't happen without problems. Kansas City developer Frank Carroll conceived the landmark in 1960, but found the Mint downtown was going to build a taller tower. He had to find money to go even higher.
He got additional funds about 1966 and was able to complete the tower. But for financial reasons and licensing problems, he was never able to open it, and it sat vacant and unused for several years until Howard Hughes opened it in July of 1969.
Lorraine Hunt remembers the pre-opening party when a helicopter buzzed around the tower. Security told her to make an announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, I said, I'm told by security that the helicopter that's circling the top of the landmark shouldn't put us in jeopardy. We're okay. But that it's Mr. Hughes and he's too bashful to come to the party. So let's all go to the window and wave to Mr. Hughes. And so we did.
The landmark made its mark in movies, too.
Hey, buddy. You see the shorty?
The publicity wasn't enough to inspire financial success, though. The hotel eventually went bankrupt.
I'm told that the building never really functioned properly as a hotel, partly, I think, because of the pie-shaped rooms and the limited space in the tower itself for rooms.
After closing its doors, the landmark reopened briefly this year for a movie crew for the filming of Casino.
The landmark was the tallest building in the state, and it did dominate the landscape, and it shows that impulse for Las Vegas to be the biggest and the best and the tallest. Now it seems kind of dwarfed and sort of forlorn sitting out there in the midst of these giant hotels.
It's nostalgic for me to think that I was there at the beginning and now I'll be there at the end.
There goes.
And there was the end. Thanks for joining us on the 5 o'clock news.
We'll see you at 6.